It's Tuesday, September 23rd. It's going for 6:30 p.m. I just got home from Costco with my two eldest children. My husband has back to school night tonight, so he's working really late. And in general, we're just really scrambling. It's the first week of school for all of my children, except for kid number 2, who is going away to college later this week. Just a really big adjustment. My two younger children are in high school, but they are going to community college and they don't drive. So that means I gotta drive them if it's a time and a location where it's not possible for them to take the bus. So I had to swing into Costco to get a couple of things for my kid who's going away to school, look and see if they have extra long sheets. If anybody knows somewhere to get twin extra long sheets for college that is not Target or Amazon, please let me know. We are striking out everywhere that we look, and I don't want to have to. I know that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. I know that we are operating in a system we did not create, but I have successfully managed to not go to Target since the Target boycott began, and I don't order from Amazon. But also, college dorm rooms have twin extra long beds. So, okay. I was going to sit down and talk about some of the political news from today, the way that Trump is a big fat embarrassment. And I also was going to talk about the plight of our farmers because there's more farm news out and it's not great. But, I'm not feeling it. There's something else I want to talk about instead. Because more and more I keep thinking that, it's important for us to stay on top of the news stories. It's important for us to be educated about what the regime is trying to do so we can organize to resist. And sometimes we need to organize very, very quickly and push back very vigorously. But I said in a video the other day, if it causes you to freeze and shut down, if it's really demoralizing for you to watch kind of breaking news headlines, then step back and take a break from that. There are other people who can do that work, and maybe you just want to wait a little bit before you follow up on the news story, maybe 24 hours, and see how things play out. If that is what helps you have longevity, have perseverance in the resistance movement, then go ahead and set that boundary for yourself. But I think it's more than that, because yes, we do need to be informed. Yes, we do need strategic, targeted ways to push back or to create a backlash effect against the regime for the horrible things that they are choosing to do to all of us and do to this country. I keep thinking about something that was said during the Indivisible call this past Thursday, that the greatest threat right now is not the administration itself, it is our response to it. I put that in my notes in all caps because I was like, yes, this is exactly what I mean when I say that the regime is engaging in psychological warfare against us, right? The propaganda of the regime is meant to try and trick our brains and get our anxiety response really heightened, freak us the fuck out so that we give up in advance, so that we feel that it's hopeless, so that we feel too scared to function, and we just lay down and let fascism roll all over us. It bears repeating, the greatest threat right now is not the regime, it is our response to it. That's really the issue here, because authoritarian regimes win when people lay down. They win when people stop fighting. They win when the society decides that they are going to obey in advance. A bully has to intimidate you into giving up because he can't win through legitimate means. Donald Trump does not have the will of the people. A majority of Americans are deeply opposed to what he's doing, and more are getting fed up with him. The longer he's in office, the more he can try and wreck this country. The more Americans are like, hell no, this is not what we want. It's like that Geordie LaForge meme. I shared it on social media yesterday, where it's like, yeah, okay, do not comply in advance. That's pretty good. But you know what's a lot better? Fuck you, make me. Because do not comply in advance sounds like, well, someday I might comply. Not in advance, but like at the proper time. No, we're not complying. We are never complying. That's what we need right now, a culture of mass defiance, right? We have to reverse the cycle. The regime is trying to chill dissent. They're trying to make it so people are more frozen, more afraid. They just cower in fear. And then, Trump and Project 2025, they can just roll on in and institute a dictatorship in the United States. Or they can just continue to exploit the working class as hard as they want. They erode our freedoms. They reduce our quality of life. They funnel all of our resources up to the super rich. The oligarchy controls everything. That's what they want. That's the cycle that they're trying to set up. That's what the propaganda of the regime is hoping to do, is create this momentum where we start to roll back and they roll forward on top of us, squishing us into the ground and cementing their god-awful plans. And we have to reverse the cycle, right? We have to have a culture of mass defiance. We have to have a culture of fuck you, make me. There's no anticipatory obedience. There's no obedience. We are not obeying the fascist regime. Period. We are defending the Constitution. Period. We are standing up for our neighbors. We are protecting the most vulnerable. Period. There is no other option. We have to decide right now in this moment what our response is going to be to the regime, no matter what they try. So as I was looking through all of these news stories, and then as I was in my under fluorescent light days walking through Costco, I don't know if anybody else is like this. I hate fluorescent lights and I hate shopping in general. I've gone to the grocery store fewer than half a dozen times since 2020. My husband does all the grocery shopping for me because I hate spending money. I hate seeing how much the prices have gone up. I hate looking at all the packaging, right? All of my permaculture anxiety comes to the forefront. And also I just kind of zone out in that situation. So as I'm walking through the aisles and my daughters are trying to pick up things that they need, I just kept thinking, oh, I got to get home and I got to film these videos on some of this breaking political news. So one side of my brain is thinking, and then the other side comes in and is like, do you even need to talk about that? Like what they're doing, is that going to change your response? Is that going to change your behavior? Yeah, you'll know more. You'll be a little bit more anxious. Maybe you'll be a little bit more riled up. Maybe that'll be good fuel for the fire of your rage, the good kind of rage that motivates you to act, right? Okay, that's true. But ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter what is happening in the news cycle, no matter what the news is, it's not going to change my behavior, because my behavior, my decision about my behavior is fuck you, make me. So then for me, ultimately, the question becomes, how do I inspire other people to have that mindset? How do I inspire other people to reverse the cycle where the regime is not crushing their dissent, where the regime is not starting to overpower them because they are choosing to bend backward? But how do I encourage people to push back, right? Because again, Donald Trump is a bully. He is really good. He's built an entire career on being a grifter, a con man, and a bully. He threatens, he intimidates, he tries awful shit, and then he sees how you respond. And most normal, decent people who are afraid, like ordinary people who are afraid of scary, threatening men who have a lot of money and power behind them, it's very normal for normal people to have the response of backing down, of being afraid, of being intimidated. And there is an element of us having to make a conscious choice of, if I'm really scared, okay, I'm allowed to be really, really scared, but that is not going to change my behavior. No matter how scared I feel, my response must be one of helping my neighbors join arm in arm with me so that we can create a culture of mass defiance against fascism. Even if I'm scared, my everyday actions have to be done through the lens of resistance. I have to spend my days looking for opportunities to say, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't give over this country to the fascists. Even if I really want to do the other thing. It's like in DBT therapy, where we talk about opposite action, right? If my anxiety is telling me to do something, then I need to do the opposite. If the propaganda of the regime is telling you it's too late, just give up, they're big and strong, they can do whatever they want, you're just a small little person, you're insignificant and you don't matter. They are big and scary and they are going to be successful in ruining this country. You might as well go ahead and obey them. If the propaganda is telling you all of that, you need to believe the opposite, and then you need to do the opposite of what the propaganda is trying to get you to do, no matter what the headlines are. If you miss the headlines for a couple of days, is that going to change what you need to be doing right now, which is having a posture, a response of fuck you, make me, and then spending time engaging with your community, connecting with people, building a culture, a movement of mass defiance against fascism. I don't know if I'll get around to covering those other news stories. I had to go have dinner with my kids. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the thing that we all need to remember is that the greatest threat to us right now is not actually Donald Trump. It is how we choose to respond. Because you understand that puts the power back in our hands. A would-be dictator is going to try dictator shit. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's actually pretty predictable. Right? He's just a cringier, griftier copy of dictators throughout history. The power and the decision actually lies with us. He's going to do what he's going to do. What matters is how we respond to it. What matters is the decisions that we, the American people, make. And we get to decide right now in this moment in time and going forward that our response is fuck you, make me. This is my country. This is my constitution. These are my liberties. These are my neighbors, and I will defend all of them. I won't be obeying in advance. I won't be obeying ever. Reverse the cycle, create that culture of mass defiance. Because the future gets to belong to us. The decision is ours.